Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Central Ohio Boys Basketball Weekly Recap. I'm your man, Coach T, and this is presented by I-70 Entertainment. Now, without further ado, I don't like to waste time, man. Let's get to it. We had 4 Central Ohio teams in state championships across 3 divisions. So we're going to go in the order that they were played. The first one was played Friday night. That was the Division II state championship, which featured Westerville North versus Massilon Perry. First of all, Massilon Perry came into this tournament season 9-13 for the year. So I think they were 15th seed up in their district. They pulled some great upsets. Now, just like with the NCAA tournament, we love to see a Cinderella. But man, the farther it gets, the farther that Cinderella goes in the tournament, you're like, oh, okay, let this team win so we can have a great matchup in the end. Didn't happen. Cinderella went all the way to the championship. And then Cinderella met her fate. Man, Westerville North has been a machine all year. They only lost 2 games. The 2 games were to OLENTANGY Orange and to St. Ignatius, 2 Final Four participants in Division I. And those games were played in December 3rd and December 7th. So from then, they won 24 straight games, man. Like I said, they've been rolling. They got the best backcourt, arguably. I think they're the best. They got the best backcourt in the state with stepbrothers Micah Young and Ty Perkins. Their father, Terrence Perkins, T. Perk, was my first point guard when I got to Columbus, 1998-99, Mifflin High School freshman team. He and Craig Wilkes were my point guards there. But these guys have been playing well all year long, and the state finals was no different. They started off on a roll. I mean, they forced 27 turnovers. And 24 of those were steals, man. And they had 37 points off of the turnovers. They almost had as many points off of turnovers as Massilon Perry had in the whole game. Final score was 78-46. Wasn't really close all game. Micah Young led the way with 24 points. Ty Perkins was next up with 19 points. And a new name we haven't spoke of, but I mean, we already know. Sophomore Tony Cornett Jr., he had 10 points. He is going to be a player. He plays both ends well, and he's going to have to step up next year. Westerville North went through the tournament with a 38.3 points per game average margin of victory. Now, it's a little skewed because they won the first round game by 77, but that's a lot of points to beat. I mean, Coach Tresley, this is what Coach Tresley did all tournament. Nothing. Chill. That's all he had to do, man. He had great senior leadership. I mean, they dominated every game, man. So salute to the Westerville North Warriors. From beginning to end, man, you all were the class of Division II. I just would have hoped that you all would have had more of a challenge somewhere in the tournament. I know Coach Trusley appreciates that you didn't, but, man, great job. Enjoy it. Division II, 2025 state champions, Westerville North Warriors. Now, Saturday morning. So the first game was the Division V state finals between Columbus Academy and Cleveland Heights Lutheran East. Cleveland Heights Lutheran East came in winning 2 prior state championships. Now, those were in Division III before we went to the 7 division tiers. This was a tight game throughout, man. Really competitive. Columbus Academy had a halftime lead, I believe, by 2 points, 27-25. So it was really, really tight throughout. In the first half, Lutheran East really was, they lived in the paint. Columbus Academy could not stay in front of their guards. Really, their guard play, Lutheran East, was pretty good between number 1 and number 11, Chris Hill and Ty Harrison. but they just got by their men consistently and lived in the paint. So what Columbus Academy did, they went to a 2-3 zone that second half, that third quarter, and it really stymied Lutheran East. Lutheran East, they wanted to shoot threes at that point, and it was Brick City. But the thing is, Columbus Academy couldn't get enough of offensive flow to really build a lead. Jason Singleton, I should have said this off the rip. Jason Singleton, best player on the floor, best player. That his performance was one of the best I've seen this year, and to do it in the state championship, he was really hard to stop from beginning to end. He had 27 points and 9 rebounds, and they couldn't stay in front of him. He hit the tray ball. It was real easy to him, man, and he's only a junior. I was thoroughly impressed by his play. And he was followed up by Caden Ivory. Caden Ivory had 9. Caden Ivory had 7 points in the second quarter. He's an energy guy. He scored. He's intense. And then he came out in the third quarter, had a quick 2. And they really couldn't get him involved. And that really hurt because Jason Singleton was the only guy giving them offense, because Lutheran East made it a point to take out Theo Falkingham. They did not want him to beat them. So I believe it was Ty Harrison. It was his job. Once Theo gave the ball up, he made it very difficult for him to get it back. And so that really stymied their offense, slowed down Columbus Academy's offense, because they lean on Theo. He's a senior leader, and he played really well this season, especially in the tournament time. But Lutheran East did a great job of that. Now, it was tied up 37-37 after 3. Fourth quarter, again, they stayed in that 2-3 zone. But I believe it was Ty Harrison and then the freshman Dylan Ziegler hit 2 big 3-point shots from about the same spot on that right wing to put them up 6. And Columbus Academy had a chance to maybe cut it, maybe tie it up, but they can never convert on their possessions. So Lutheran East beat Columbus Academy for the Division V state championship 53-49. It was a great game by Columbus Academy and a great season. Finished up 28-1 in 1 loss coming in the state finals. I know it hurts, but man, you cannot let that hurt take you away from how great of a season that you had this year. The future is bright. You still have some returners who are Jason Singleton's coming back, Caden Ivory's coming back. They are losing some leaders in Anderson Davis and Theo Falkingham. But salute, great job this year to the Columbus Academy Vikings. All right, let's get to the last game that involves Central Ohio teams, and this is the game everybody wanted to see. The Division I Finals that was between the Olentangy Orange Pioneers and the Reynoldsburg Raiders. They were the top 2 teams throughout the season. Them, along with St. Ignatius, they were always one of the top teams in Division I. People in Central Ohio were clamoring for this matchup, and the state gave us this matchup in the finals. And for the first half, it was a tight game, 17-14 at half. A Division I final, 17-14. So that, both teams were really tight with their play. They played some really good defense too. Orange is one of the best defensive teams in the state. I've said that before. I will continue to say it. They guard well one-on-one as well as help side. And their rotations and communication is really top-notch, man. Like I said, it was a tight game at halftime. Start the third quarter. Then the first 2 minutes, Olentangy Orange popped off 8 straight points to put them up 11. And from then on, They didn't get it within closer than double figures from that point on. Ellis Apaya was the man. Devin Brown, I think, pressed a little bit in that first half. I think he was 1 for 10 in the first half, maybe. He was just pressing, but Ellis was smooth. His Jay was butter. He's athletic, and I mean, when you have a team like that, all he has to do is spot up because somebody's going to get attention, and he's going to be wide open. And that was a mistake Reynoldsburg made. But I mean, you got to pick your poison. You know, somebody's going to be open at times, and you know, you don't want the Devin Brown or the Levi's or whatever to be up. So they rolled the dice with Ellis Apaya, and he made them pay. He finished with 20 for the game, man. And another guy who played well was Trayton Schroeder. Like I said, you're going to give your attention to Devin, you're going to give your attention to Levi, and you still got Keegan down low. So Trayton had 12 points, all on three-point shots, and they were big shots, especially in the third quarter, that they blew the game open. They won the third quarter 30-12. So what started off the third quarter as a three-point game finished as a 21-point lead for Olentangy Orange. Reynoldsburg just could not get anything going, period, for the whole game. Jordan Fisher he had it going. He had a 20 ball. Xavier McKinney had 11. So you're talking about, that's 31 points. The final score of the game was 56-41. Therefore, the other player scored 10 points. And that's tough when you have Damon Griffin, Toby Nwokolo, and Jordy Bowens combining for 10 points for the game. Especially, all three, because Toby has played well this tournament. But Damon and Jordy are really the engine, the energy guys for the team. And when they're going, they're going to get everybody else going with the energy they're bringing. And Trayton Schroeder did a great job keeping Damon out of the paint. He really did. And like I said, Olentangy Orange is one of the best defensive teams out there. And another thing, we all know that Reynoldsburg likes to get up and down the court. Olentangy Orange did not allow. They allowed only 4 fast break points. And in fact, they won the fast break point battle 25-4 versus Reynoldsburg. So it was they cut their water off, man. And salute to both teams, because Reynoldsburg continued to play hard. Their depth, I think, hurt them in the end also. Playing only six guys is real tough. You know, and it caught up with them, man. So, but Reynoldsburg, great season. Finished up 26-2, losing in the state championship, the first time that in school history being that far, man. Great job. Salute to you, absolutely, and definitely congratulations to the Olentangy Orange Pioneers and Coach Anthony Kalo and his guys, man. You've just been sensational all year. You haven't lost to a team from Ohio. Your 2 losses came from teams from out of the state. So great job, man. And it was a great game, man. I just wish Ohio would now have all the 7 champions. Let's have another tournament, see who's the number 1 champion. But that's another story for another day. Congratulations to our 2 state championship teams from the Central Ohio area. Division 1, Olentangy Orange Pioneers, and in Division 2, the Westerville North Warriors. People, we really appreciate you coming out and showing your support for us, man. Next year, we're only going to get bigger and better. But I think we might have another show for you. Might have a special episode for you next week. So stay tuned. But until that point, if we see you again or not, take care and be safe. Peace.